Greetings, what is up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming at you guys for the first time in a very long time. With a live 1 versus 1 replay. Oh man, you can tell I am rusty. I've not done this for a while. But yes, this is going to be a 1v1 battle coming from the ladder here. We got spawning in the bottom left here, the Overcommand West forces of Medic. And spawning in the top right, we've got the Soviet forces of Farlon. So the map here is going to be Crossroad, which I'm sure we're all relatively familiar with by now. This was added to the game, wasn't in on release, but has been out for quite a long time. One of my favourite maps, nice and small, keeps the combat swift and brutal. It's pretty tough to have long drawn-out games on this one, which I think is a plus from a map design point of view. And it feels like every single unit is always being relevant and is always like a stone's throw away from engaging the enemy if it's not actively shooting them at that very moment. So yep, these two players are going to be moving out onto the map here, and we can have a look here at their initial force composition choices and where they're going to route these units to claim territory on the map. And I imagine quite soon we'll hear our first gunshots as this battle will begin in earnest. But whilst these two players do kind of play out the opening stages of this game, I'll take a moment right here just to say, wow, yeah, it really has been a long time since I did any casting, but Company of Heroes 2 has undergone a lot of changes as we have a battle beginning up here in the northwestern portion of the map. Some Volksgrenadiers, going to meet some engineers here, nothing to write home about though. And yeah, Company of Heroes 2 has undergone some pretty massive changes. I purposefully have not read through any patch notes, so I am very under-informed right now about the state of the game and what's changed. I played a few games with some friends recently, and the game felt great. I've got to be honest, Company of Heroes 2 felt crisp, and I liked pretty much every change that I stumbled across in my plays. So pretty much for my own entertainment, I'm here casting a game just to take a look at some of the factions that I haven't played as yet, and sort of see how the meta is looking at the higher end, which it's fair to say I don't represent. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to being entertained and thrilled by Company of Heroes 2 once again. As we've got another scuffle down here in the south portion of the map. 2 squads of conscripts in decent cover, going to be picking away at these Volksgrenadiers. Conscripts here going to be moving up to the north as well. We've got some other fights going on around the map, but it looks like the allied player here, Farlon, has everything pretty much in hand. I imagine he'll be taking both of these. These Volksgrenadiers actually fighting back a bit. But yeah, looking pretty good for the Soviet player here. He has gone ahead and chosen his commander, and that's going to be the counterattack tactics commander. It's been so long since I played the game. Let me just take a look at this commander while we have a moment of peace here. KV-1 heavy tank. Oof, rough. I mean, I hope that that's been changed, but that never used to be super great. Shock troops, recon overflight for Mother Russia, and the B4 howitzer. Wow, this is a good map for the B4 howitzer, actually. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, this always used to be one of my, I wouldn't say favourites, just like one of the Soviet commanders that I did like. Although, I played as Soviets the other day, and they've got a commander now who just, like, legit, you can just build a forward fallback point. Like a new Soviet commander. Can't remember his name. That commander was great. Like, Soviet forces have always felt wanting for a forward fallback point just because, I mean, my personal playstyle, I quite like to have a forward fallback point and or a half track to reinforce. I just don't like to have to fall back my units the whole way across the map. It's a personal thing, it's just something I like. But to see the Soviet forces have a commander that offers that was really cool, actually, and I had a lot of fun playing with that commander, so pretty spicy. Well, looks like we've got a 220 scout car going to be moving out onto the field. Now, how have Overcommand West gotten this unit? Because they have an elite armoured doctrine. Is this new? I don't remember them getting a 221. It's a 221, not a 222. Can you buy it wow, you cannot buy it the autocannon. Interesting. So, okay, let's have a look at this guy. So he gets the 221, he gets emergency repairs, he gets heat shells, he gets the Storm Tiger, and he gets Panzer Commander. Okay, interesting. So I don't really remember this commander, or if I mean, I remember his face. I just don't think he used to get a 221, right? They've just added a 221 onto him or something. I don't know, it's been like more than a year since I saw this commander, so can't remember, but very keen to see what a 221 is going to do to impact the battlefield here. If I correct the tack, we can see our allied player here, Farlon, going to be taking the majority of field possession, and if we look at the scoreline, a healthy ticket lead actually, just coming up to the 5-minute mark, and he's already got a 75+ ticket lead, so The hallmark of an early game that has definitely been in his favour. He's also had the lion's share of the fuel income, which is going to help him out here as we start moving towards some serious tech choices. We'll see where these players intend to go, as where they intend to navigate this game in regards to their tech choices. So a Soviet push here, going to be trying to push across the open, but with the 2-2-1 Rifleman and the Sturm, what are these guys called again? Storm Pioneer squad. I think that this is yeah. Farlon going to think better of this advance, going to reposition his forces towards the centre of the map. He's going to need an answer for this 2-2-1. Let's see, has he researched anti-vehicle grenades? He has, yeah. So possibility here of getting an anti-vehicle grenade, and looks like we're going to get it here if he clicks fast enough. Comes the throw, bonk, and that's going to force the 2-2-1 out of off the front line whilst the engine is repaired there. So nice work by Farlon, going to buy himself a little bit of reprieve here. Is he going to push in with these conscripts? He really, really wants that 2-2-1. Okay, yeah, he's going to push here. Good on him. Other fights going on the map. Looks like we've got a Molotov coming down. Actually, wait. That will have been an incendiary grenade, my bad. And Flammenwerfer coming up on these engineers. Going to enable them to push these Volksgrenadiers out of there. Combat in the south. Looks like the Soviet forces kind of getting routed. Ooh, a rough fallback path for those conscripts. Going to see a couple more go down. Oh, and these engineers as well. You never want to fall back right past the Storm Pioneers, but lucky for them, these are not 2-star Storm Pioneers. They're not, like, utterly lethal just yet. And we've got some shock troops coming onto the field here for Farlon. Let's take a look around the base, and there are no tech buildings. Oh, sorry, my bad. There is the support weapon Campanile. So he does have the option of building a Zis gun if he fancies it to take on that 2-2-1, and he may well decide to broaden his forces with some hard AT as we see the game move forward. Let's check the tech here for our Overcommand West player. Looks like we've got the Mechanized Regiment Headquarters, going to be the choice here out of his Schwerovermax Schlepper. And let me see, how much fuel is he floating right now? Actually, not a lot. So we're not going to see a Panzer II or a Puma anytime soon, as these shock troopers make their presence felt here on the front line. So, what else can you build out of this one? The infrared half-track? Is that still in the game? Does anyone care about that unit? Probably not, but anyway, we'll see now. Oh, this is not where the infrared half-track comes from. Oh no, of course, that's out of the medical building. Oh my god. Okay, give me a break, guys. Haven't played this game for quite some time. The knowledge is rusty. In fact, so are the casting skills, to be honest. Not that they were ever that sharp. Of course, he can build the Stuckerzerfuss, the Werfermann. Looks like we're going to have another engagement here on the front line. Farlon putting down some mines here, but they will be spotted, so if he was paying attention, Medic is going to know about that. 2-2-1 getting stuck in again, should be coming up for its first star of veterancy relatively soon. It can build a radio set. A versatile command car, grants signal relay and lockdown, increases health and armor. That's a new one, I don't remember that. Medical supplies. Wow, this little scout car does a lot of stuff actually, doesn't it? Drop medical supplies. Huh.
Emergency repair kits have been issued to all vehicles.
Oh my god, the Regal anti-tank mine is a veterancy 5 ability on this thing. Defensive smoker, vet 1. This little scout car's pretty groovy, isn't it? Huh. Yeah, this is pretty exciting stuff. Oh, he's going to get an anti-tank grenade down onto it though. No hard AT as yet on the field. There are no PTRS units or anything like that that could get this tank down. No other conscripts in the hood either. So Farlon here just going to buy himself another minute or so free of this scout car, and going to get his conscripts on out of there. And the position here for the Axis player, if I crack the tack, he's like holding a lot of ground, but most of his units are like falling back or like holding a perimeter around his base. So a pretty compacted position here for our Axis player. Should be okay, because it seems like Farlon himself not in a position really to capitalize on that. A lot of his units just now coming out of base. Tech choice here coming through. Looks like we've got the Tanker V Battalion Command, and as you just heard, the Panzer II Luke's going to be rolling onto the field here for Medic. That's a pretty sweet skin. Is that a new skin? I don't think I've seen this skin. Anyway, Panzer II Luke's going to be on the field here now, and this is problems. This is problems. I think that Farlon now in a position that we often, but I'm more used to seeing Wehrmacht players in, where light vehicles are sort of drowning him and he doesn't have a pack gun, or in this case a divisional field gun. So this is actually problems here. Gets an AT grenade down onto the Luke straight away, so that is quite nice for Farlon. But definitely problematic times here. He's going to have to make an AT choice at some point. A T-70 is nice. That will help answer both the 221 and the Panzer II. I would feel a little bit better if he got a Zis gun as well. But I mean, He is the master of his own destiny, and I trust his judgment in this game far better than mine. I just worry that a T-70, like, you can lose a T-70 to a Panzer II and a well-placed mine or something like that. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see here how this battle's gonna go down with the T-70 and the Panzer II Lukes. MG34 going to be added on here for medic, so going to be solidifying his anti-infantry capabilities. Probably going to see him stick that MG around the centre of the map, because that's where it tends to be most potent on the crossroads. And so we do have a Zis gun coming out here for our Soviet player. Nice stuff. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable for him as we move forward here in this game. I would be worried about his ability to deal with these vehicles if he didn't have one, so that's nice to see. Gonna grab himself a fuel point here, and then these conscripts gonna have to fall back. And as we kind of move into the early mid-game here, these players just skirmishing around the map. A lot of little fights going on, not really committing to one big fight with all of their units here. Whoa, oh, man, sometimes my mouse just glitches out like that. It just like tries to scroll really hard to the bottom left. Sorry about that. Okay, so the scoreline right now, about a 50-point, 40-point difference here between these two players. Farlon's still with the lead, but safe to say right now, if I correct the tack, you can see the Axis player here fortifying a very nice front line, going to take back control of the fuel. What is this he's building here? Oh, it's just some barbed wire. Okay, I thought he might be putting down some mines or something there. And going to have a fight here on the west flank. Panzer II going to relocate here, going to get some premium shots into the very expensive shock troops here. Oh, that's how you vet up. That is how you vet up a Panzer II. Nice. So he's going to have Vet 1 coming on that Panzer II. Really sharpish here. This command car has actually been pretty quiet for a while. So no extra veterancy going on that. But Zis gun going to move into the hood. Looks like Medic here going to be quick enough on the fallback, so he's not going to take a shot from the Zis gun. Very nice stuff there from the Axis player. Playing it pretty tight there. So yeah, some other changes I saw. I played as Wehrmacht, and like, dude, you can build Panzer Grenadiers from your HQ building. It's crazy. That's just a really, pardon me, that's a really nice change for the game. I really, really like that. It just totally changes the character of that faction. It makes your tech much more achievable and optional as well. It's like, yeah, Wehrmacht feel pretty tight now. Yeah, so far I've only tried Wehrmacht and Soviets since I've come back to the game. And yeah, I really like them both. They both feel like way stronger and more fun to play. Whoa, these Storm Pioneers kind of feeding in against these conscripts. Going to try and get some damage done. Is he just trying for the second star of veterancy? No, he's not even close. So, wow, he's actually going to force the conscripts back. Wow, Storm Pioneers, hella strong, of course. Are we going to try for a... Do these guys get the Bundaroo grenade? Oh no, I'm thinking Panzer Grenadiers. Good God, it's been a while. I am so rusty. Ha! But hey, on the plus side, I've picked a game to cast here where it's very unlikely I'm going to miss any sniper deaths, which is my trademark, so that's got to be a good thing. Where has this MG34 been this whole game? It's about to get its first amount of veterancy. These are like the first bullets it's fired in anger. It does not feel like it's been super impactful, but it is going to hold the eastern flank here all by itself, so nice stuff there. Shock troops here going to get up on top of these Volksgrenadiers. For some reason, we're not hearing any of the guns. Okay, no, there they are. So there's going to be a grenade here for sure. No? They're just going to take the damage. Oh, that seems fine as well. There's a lot of damage. Panzer II going to move across here to help with that. In the south, looks like the MD-34 did get flanked by another squad of conscripts, so Soviet forces free to take that VP and indeed the fuel point if they get time. Shock troops going to force back these Volksgrenadiers. Panzer II here is going to keep transitioning, really wants to go after these conscripts. Takes an AT grenade for the troubles though. Zis gun is in the hood looking for the hunt, but it's a little far away right now, so that Panzer II definitely going to be able to exfiltrate safely here. Shock Grenadier is going to come on into a meat grinder. This unit needs to fall back right now. He gets the grenade down. Why is he staying? This is so brutal. There's a Panzer II and a 221 scout car here just chewing these very expensive infantry down. Oof. The Zis gun is going to come forward. Conscript's getting ready for another AT grenade. That's going to come off cooldown here in just a second. The Zis gun gets a nice shot through, and this is a Panzer II, which is in severe jeopardy right now. No second AT grenade going to come through, actually, and looks like we've got the Schwer Panzer HQ deploying in the hood, and that will see off all Soviet forces in the near future. This is super risky. Oh, wow! So the Zis gun manages to get a shot onto the scout car. Very nice. That was a really, really close moment for the Axis player. He nearly lost his Panzer II, which would have been gross, and he nearly lost his in construction Schwerer Panzer HQ. Like a Zis gun will put that down whilst it's building. If you catch the Schwerer Panzer HQ whilst it's constructing, a Zis gun will massacre that. That's like one of the oldest tried and tested. Whoa, what are these guys doing? Oh, cool. They've got salvage operations? Oh yeah, of course, the OKW. Oh my god, I forget that that's like a base ability. Lol. Alright, yeah, cool. That's pretty sweet. So, Panzer II gets repaired. MG34 here, not set up at a crucial moment. Oh, so many Soviet units you'd love to catch under the arc of that MG right now, but it's going to have to move it back and then deploy. Schwerer Panzer HQ going to announce itself here. The familiar thunk of that flak gun there, going to force back Soviet infantry. The veterancy on which, actually, looking pretty smart right now. Panzer II comes in on a strafing run, moving from east to west here. Rolling down the front line, unloading that autocannon into Soviet troops here. Gonna roll straight into the Zis gun though, but this is kind of this is an unsupported Zis gun, which has Volks with STGs in its hindquarter as well, so this is pretty dangerous right now. Oh, the Zis gun taking so much fire. A pretty bad incendiary grenade gonna come down there. Could have cancelled that one. T-34 comes onto the field though, just at the perfect moment to help counter this this Panzer. Panzer II loops, takes a pretty crippling blow and has to GTFO. And this T-34, now the Kingmaker on the field. Is that an 85? No, of course it's not. Okay, well, yeah, this T-34, now the Kingmaker on the field. And it's Medic who finds himself caught without a hard AT option at his disposal. And that is kind of going to be a weakness here. Going to give this T-34 about a minute here to exploit free reign of the field, more or less, unless he does anything stupid. Going to pick up the MG-34 in that time. Looks like shock troops going to come forward and probably going to salvage that one as well. So this T-34 really being leveraged for value here. Going to come on into the Schwerer Panzer HQ. Controversial. Keep an eye on its health here. Has got some damage onto the Schwerer Panzer HQ. And this would be a hell of a thing to kill if you can get it. But you don't normally want to trade health off of one of your like MBTs at this point in the game. I mean, he's actually putting some real pressure on that. Did he manage to keep his Zis gun? He did! Oh my god, the Zis gun managed to exfiltrate, so I actually don't mind this at all, because if you put some health damage on this, you can probably get the kill with the Zis gun if you get it into position later. Storm Pioneer is going to come on in and start hosing down the MG-34. That needs a squad that needs to fall back, I think, from the Soviet player. Needs to get on out of there. And, wow, Farlon really heaping on the pressure. Massive flanking move here. 4 squads of Volks with STGs comes flailing in from the west here. Going to try and rout all of the Soviet infantry. Mostly effective. Even the T-34 has to yield ground here. Rakettenwerfer finally on the field here. Going to provide a hard AT option for Medic. And, oh, that was a nice incendiary grenade. Going to force a lot of the Soviet infantry to relocate. Not taking too much damage, but forcing them to relocate under fire. Really is forcing damage on them. So that's nice. Many stars of veterancy beginning to pop up over some of these Volks as well. And Medic doing a really good job of defusing what was a really tricky moment. He alleviates the pressure on his Schwerer Panzer HQ. There's a moment here where he can repair that damage now. And, wow, yeah, Medic there really was, like, under pressure and manages to defuse the situation. If I crack the tack in this moment of calm, we can see he's forced back the majority of the Soviet units. They're going to have to heal, reinforce, rearm, repair, all of those things. And this gives him a chance to re-establish his front line. He lost the MG-34, so he's not going to be able to get that set up in a nice position, which is a great shame for the Axis player here. But he is going to be able to fan out his units, try and capture some relevant points. The scoreline right now pretty much even, as near as makes no difference. So this is pretty much anyone's game right now. Composition-wise, if you look at the top left, look at the top right, pick whose army you prefer. I'm going to go, well, Trip Mine, going to pick off an infantryman here and illuminate these Volks. Very nice to see the old Trip Mine. You don't often see that, but well, maybe I just don't often catch it when I'm casting, but I feel like I don't often see that ability. Stormtroop's going to come up here, but as I was saying, look at the top left, look at the top right, choose whose army you prefer. I think right now, fair to say, the Soviet player has the better composition. I would prefer to have this army in this situation. The T-34 still the Kingmaker on the field, even with a Rakettenwerfer to keep it in check. So, to redress that balance of power, looks like Medic here going to choose a Panzer IV, and that'll be joining the field here in a minute. So, we'll have to see how the game looks. Conscript Man now have a 7-man squad upgrade. This is like so cool. Is this, where do you take this upgrade from? Is this like, where do you research this? I don't, I'm so not down with like how the game works these days. You'll have to forgive me, veteran and elite players who are just like, Magpie, you're such an idiot, man. How does she not know this? It's like, these are all fair criticisms. I'm back on the learning curve. So yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with me whilst I'm a noobcaster again. In fact, was I ever not a noobcaster? I don't know. A debate for another time. So, Looks like we've got a B4 howitzer getting constructed here as well. Oh, in a commanding position. So this is brutal. Remember, of course, the B4 does have the anti-tank direct fire mode. So by positioning it here rather than here, this actually covers like the center of the map. I don't know what the range on the direct fire mode is, but I feel like it probably does cover like most of this area I'm panning over. And that anti-tank round is an absolute slugger. It's a hugely powerful caner. Like, it will cripple a Panther if you get the hit. So, yeah, that is nice positioning there. Pretty difficult to threaten. Like, obviously not as defended as it would be if it was here, but pretty good. So that B4 going to be interesting. We'll have to see how it affects the flow of this battle moving forward. The Panzer IV Aus J is on the field now, and going to be utilized here to retake the eastern flank for the Axis forces. The T-34 at the moment up in the west, exchanging fire with some Volks, just kind of policing the front right now. I wonder if he's going to relocate to deal with this Panzer. Where's the Zis gun right now? Also, kind of in the north of center, so this Panzer kind of has free reign to just clean up the eastern front right now. Medic going to re-establish himself. The scoreline, yeah, it's still pretty close. Medic finds himself at a slight deficit. The B4 takes a shot, going to make its presence known. And that's a near miss on this Panzer IV, inflicting glancing damage only, so not quite the shot that the Soviet player was looking for. The cooldown on these rounds, about, 45 seconds or so, I would say. Oh, it doesn't have direct fire ability until it's Veteran 1. My god, it killed 5 infantry with that shot. Oh, I didn't see that. Wow, okay, so that was a really good opening shot for that B4 howitzer. With these indirect fire pieces, with any indirect fire unit really, but especially ones like the Panzerwerfer, the Katusha, any of them which have a long cooldown between barrages, if you can get an effective barrage on your first and second hits, or your first and second salvos that like vets up that unit, its efficiency in the match is like going to be vast amounts higher. If you miss with your opening few salvos and then you're only vetting up like later on and the unit isn't paying for itself so early, it's a huge difference. So getting that opening shot to be a hit, it's ready already. The reload on this thing is so fast. He's going to take the shot here. Those guys look like they're readying for fire. Yep, they're going to aim. Here comes the shot. No? Am I just imagining things? Is he cancelling the shot? I think he decided to retarget it based on different information. All right, there goes the shot. Okay, that is a flat miss, so that's not too bad there. Man, that thing is so scary to have to deal with. Just like every 45 seconds it appears. Yeah, every 45 seconds or so you just have to deal with a massive incoming shell. And this does not cost munitions to fire, so this is just like a free call-in. These Volks Grenadiers, 5-star, kind of getting hung out a bit. Okay, there we go, medic on top of it. Nicely done now. The Panzer II, up to 2 stars of vet, that's when it gets the rate of fire upgrade. So this Panzer II now is going to be absolutely devastating. And as these players move on in the game, well, we're going to have to see what the tech choices are going to be. I would actually love to see an Su-85 out of our Soviet player. I feel like this is a really good Su-85 map, and I feel like if you have an Su-85 and the B4 howitzer with the Su-85 to cover it from armoured advances, it becomes so much more difficult to answer that B4 howitzer. The Zis gun here gets caught out. The Panzer II autocannon going to shred up the crew on that one. Gets the kill, which is very nice. The T-34 as well, not going to be able to pursue the Panzer II because the Kettenwerfer pushes up and is going to nudge back the T-34, so nice plays here from Medic, who actually, there is a scoreline discrepancy opening up between these two players. About 90 tickets now. And, oh, my mouse. And, oh my goodness, all the Soviet infantry getting so clustered. B4 howitzer shell coming in. Not going to get some damage on the Panzer IV. That is actually pretty good. That is now, oh, it's not vetted up yet, but it will be kind of soonish. My god, my mouse is, like, sketching out so badly. But as I was saying, yeah, Medic needs to get himself back in this game. He is beginning to fall behind in the scoreline, and that's never where you want to be. Zis gun gets recruited and going to start pinging this Panzer II. The Panzer II comes forward. Ooh, a little risky there. Okay, yeah, he will get that one out of there. Cautious movement, allowing it to move. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm just like having to remember like what all the veterancy abilities and things are in this game. It's been so long. Whoa, the T-34 is just going to rock on forward. Okay, I thought he was going to try for the squad wipe there, but he isn't gonna. Another B4! We've got a second B4 being constructed. Wow, okay, so I'm not sure if building these B4s in more or less the same place with overlapping fields of fire is a... I mean, the other place for this B4 is here, because then there's like nowhere safe for your opponent's tanks to hide, but I mean, this is putting all of your eggs in one basket. Like, you only have to defend this position, but if you ever lose this position, you're losing both of your B4s. So it's like, it's up to you. Like, I don't know what you guys think. Is this good? Is this bad? Should you space out your B4s to cover different areas, or should you, like, keep them together so they're easier to defend? I don't know. They're not so close that that like, one indirect fire ability could, like, destroy them, so that's not so bad. I don't know, it's just interesting placement on that B4. I'm still kind of thinking about it. Panzer IV going to drive on forward here, really wants a piece of that T-34. He's going to come in hard, and we've got a call in here. Looks like the tank commander going to call in the artillery to displace that Zis gun and enable this Panzer IV to come in deep. He gets the T-34, so nice work. Anti-tank grenades, though, going to come down off this conscript. The Zis gun still alive, repositions, and the Panzer IV is firmly in arc and crippled. Engine is gone, so that's going to be a trade there. Panzer IV out of J for the T-34, a trade that any Soviet player is going to be happy with. And if you look at the top left, look at the top right, I think it's safe to say Medic now actually just behind in this game. This is a really tough spot for him to be in. He's not out. Oh, he's going to rebuild the Panzer IV as well. I don't know about that either. I don't know. I mean, again, I trust his judgment as a veteran and elite player over mine as a noobish caster, but it just never feels good when you have to rebuild that. Oh my god, these B4s really are going to be adding so much pressure as well. And it just feels like this is going to be so tough for Medic to get out from under from. Like, these B4s are just going to be raining shells in. The Soviet infantry is strong and punchy. There's still a hard AT option available in this Zis gun, so it's not like the Panzer II is a wild card in this game. And, yeah, this is going to be really hard. Medic is just in that position now that you so often find yourself in Company of Heroes. 4 stars on this Panzer II is nice. But, that you so often find yourself in Company of Heroes where you're behind and you're desperately stretched on resources, and it's so hard for you to get the game back to parity because you're always just slightly outnumbered compared to your opponent. So, yeah, basically Medic with all the work to do here. He's under pressure on the scoreline as well, 243 under 388. The map, obviously looking pretty Soviet dominant right now. Well, at least in terms of the victory points. Everything else pretty much even, I suppose. But those B4s are just raining in. Oh my goodness me. Anytime he sees a point being captured, Farlon can just throw some B4 shells that way, and the cooldowns are so fast. I can't believe there's not a Star of Veterancy on this B4. Yeah, this is a rough spot for sure for Medic. What's the way out? I don't know. I mean, he spent his fuel on another Panzer IV House of J, and he has the Schwerer Panzer HQ. I don't know. I think maybe the best option there would have been like a Yagdi. I don't know. Whoa! He's fearless. He comes forward. He really wants to... the T-34 comes in, so he puts down the artillery barrage on the B4. We're going to have to see if that kills it. Zis gun, conscripts, and a T-34. I mean, that's just an immediate sacrificial Panzer IV to take out a B4. The B4 does go down, and he does get the vet one, so that's fine. But I don't know if it's worth one Panzer IV to do that. I just don't know. I mean, he feels like he's being pressured so hard that he has to do that. How much does it cost to actually put together a B4? I actually can't remember the hotkey for, like, build, because I'm so good. Okay, I actually don't know how much it costs to build a B4. I feel like it's just a stack of, isn't it like 600 manpower or something? It's like a lot of manpower. And he's just going to instantly rebuild that B4, so I don't know. It doesn't feel like it was worth it. Medic does manage to regain control of the middle of the map, though, and he's going to put down some mines. I mean, he's doing all of the things he needs to do to give himself a shot of getting back in this game. I think I really don't agree with the trading out of that Panzer IV. How has he got so much fuel, though? He can almost afford another. I mean, why not get a Stuka Fus? Or... because that answers these B4s, like, really badly. Ain't no way your opponent's going to keep building B4s if you've got Stuka Fus on the field. And it's cheaper than another Panzer IV. And... I don't know. I think I would have preferred that rather than trading a Panzer IV for one B4. Insofar as his fuel spending now goes, I actually think that a Werferman right now is great, actually, because it answers a lot of this infantry, obviously, if you're lucky enough to catch them. it answers the B4s. You can pretty much keep it safe. Like, you can take shots from here and it will reach most of the map. So yeah, I feel like that would have been a nice choice. Anyway, Obersoldaten going to be the... my god, this B4 just comes in and vaporizes the Kettenwerfer squad there. That is going to get remanned by these bolts, but it's all just taxing a player who does not have the resources to be spending reinforcing these squads, not to mention, of course, wiping the veterancy. Obersoldaten going to be coming out on the field here, and I really like that choice. Obviously, Obersoldaten are just acid death for all Axis infantry. They're just so destructive. But on this map, we're talking about a very expensive squad that can die very quickly to a single hit from a B4. So we're just going to have to see how these Obersoldaten play out, I suppose. The MG34 LMG upgrade going to be coming out like as soon as reasonably possible here onto these guys. So they're going to look to start racking up some veterancy real quick. And I don't know. These are a squad that if you can babysit them, if you can get them up to like 4 or 5 star veterancy, they can be utterly brutal. I just feel like on a field with 2 B4s and 3 B4s, oh goodness me, and a T-34. Okay, how much supply cap is one of these things? Because I feel like, yeah, there we go. The Soviet is like, Soviet player is actually at supply cap now because he has 3 B4s, and this is not the best army in the top right. So I feel like if Medic can weather the storm for a bit here, his Panzer II comes under some severe pressure here. But I feel like, hypothetically, if Medic can, Ram comes through, breaks the gun and the engine though. Oh no, that T-34 is now stricken under the arc of the Schwerer Panzer HQ, so that's basically a dead T-34. I can't really see that one getting out of there. And the Panzer II is going to live. So a bit of luck there, a spot of luck for our Axis player. Vaziskan's going to come through and try and find the Panzer II, but Medic too smart here, going to pull that unit back. So, okay, that is a stroke of luck there for Medic. A veteran T-34 going to get cycled out for some damage on a Panzer II. You'll take that trade any day if you're the Axis player here, and that's fine. Whoa, these Obersoldaten in negative cover, and there's a B4 shell coming! That's going to be a miss. 3 B4s, so that's like 1 shell being fired on average like every 15 seconds. That is so scary. Oh my goodness, see that was like a whisker away from being utterly brutal. Oh, and he's got the scout plane, so he knows what he's shooting at. You need to move that Panzer II, bro. He sees you repairing that, man. I wouldn't stay still. You've already had a near miss. Get these guys, move them, he knows you're there. Oh my god, okay, it's causing me some severe distress. Obersoldaten going to be breaking on through, taking some licking from a Flammenwerfer here. Bundaroo grenade! Oh, and it's not spotted, but it actually seemed to be just a little short there, so not going to be the best. No squad wipe going to be coming through here for these Obersoldaten. Looks like Medic going to be pushing desperately into the teeth of this MG34, which he does need to do. He's getting good damage onto it. The incendiary grenade absolutely prime. Here comes the Panzer II Lukes. A lot of forces here. It would be a shame if a B4 shell was to land in the middle of all this. Oh! And then the shot troops are here for the potential squad wipe. Is this Volksgrenadier going to get out of there? Yeah, he is 5-star. That's crucial. In fact, oh! But another 4-star vet squad just gets instantly nuked. Assaulting this position is so difficult because these B4s at this range, there's just no scatter that really matters. So they're just going to keep wasting your units. Now look how small this army is for Medic here. He's down at 35 supply under 82. It's brutal. And I feel like the point where this game is retrievable has probably just gone away. These B4s are just going to keep getting value. And I feel like right now they're pretty unassailable. He's building a Panther. I mean, a Panther is a great unit. I just don't really feel like it answers this army in the top right. Like, those B4s, you need a Werferman, right? Look how close they are. You could catch 2 of these B4s with 1 Werferman. And I am assuming that a Werferman barrage actually kills a B4, which is probably not a dead cert. Probably not a certain deal. Oh no, the Panzer II gets its engine clipped off in a devastating position, and I feel like Medic... oh god, yeah, that one gets destroyed. I feel like Medic's decisions in this game are pretty much irrelevant now. Oh, I've just missed a squad wipe somewhere though. Well, one of the Soviet infantry squads just died somewhere, but anyway. Yeah, Medic, what do you do against such reckless Sovieting? Well, he's not going to give in, and he shouldn't.
More B4 rounds smacking into terrain here. This T-34 just gifts itself into the middle of the map here. So that's kind of nice. Okay, he's actually not going to get this T-34 because the Kettenwerfer is under duress. Oh, he mans this Zis gun, which has the T-34 in arc. That's nice. Oh, no. But the infantry AI just picked it up for a second, and now there are shock troops on top of it, so they're going to die. Panther tank probably is going to take this T-34. You should keep this unit moving, bro. I just don't like the idea of sitting a Panther still when there's B4s on the map. 3 B4s on the map. Oh, God, here comes the Ram. Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, we've got 5 units here for the Axis player, but one of them is a Panther, and another one is Obersoldat with a Star of Veterancy. I mean, oh god, the B4 coming in a bit short there. Pretty sure that hit some Soviet units. I think the shell clipped onto the wreckage of that T-34. Oh my god, these B4s are so relentless. This is such a hard place to be here for Medic. He actually has enough fuel. Okay, if he could just save up. Like, hey, now you've got a Panther. Save up and get a Werferman. How much manpower is a Werferman? 390. Oh my god, that's a lot more than I thought. But still, buddy, just get it. I feel like you just need something that can reach out and threaten these B4s. Okay, here comes the spy plane again. So the Panther is known. He moves it immediately, which is just as well, because these B4s are going to be hurling shells. I don't even like standing still with these Volks. Like, they're 5-star Volks. And you have to think the Soviet player is just itching to click on stuff with these B4s. They're just staying still. Oh god, so brave. But Medic is going to make a play here for middle VP, and that is something. I think he's going to get it as well. There's not much here to stop it. Well, I mean, there's B4s. I mean, this is just a free squad wipe, really, isn't it? Why are the B4s not firing? Are they off cooldown? Yeah, he's got all 3 of them off cooldown, so he really should just kill these guys. Wow. Okay, he actually gets the decap on middle VP. And he's built another MD-34, actually, which is pretty cool. He's going to start locking down. Yeah, there's the B4 shell. I mean, better late than never. Oh my god, so what do? Build the Werferman now, just accept you're going to have no infantry for the next couple of minutes. Just build the Werferman. You need something that can threaten these B4s. Oh no, he's going to drive the Panther forwards. Dude, 2 of these B4s have direct fire mode now. So that's just so sketchy. Zis gun and the Panther's flank as well. There's a T-34 here, but I actually don't think that's the greatest choice. I would have liked an Su-85 much more. Panzer IV going to be the choice. Have I gotten this massively wrong? Like, or has Medic just forgotten that you can build Werfermans? I'm racking my brains trying to imagine why you wouldn't build a Werferman here. Like, because how does a Panzer IV change the math on this combat at all? You're still going to lose anytime you try and threaten these B4s. And I don't think you can just ignore the B4s and hope to win out the game. Oh no, now these Obersoldaten are desperately trying to capture mid here. No! What is this? He's going to use the caustic smoke to try and, like, capture this point. Dude, B4s do not care about your caustic smoke. They will just kill you. Move! That was the shot! Oh. You got to press full back. That's another one. What the? Oh my god, he actually gets the capture. Medic here with the sketchy plays. That's a Storm Tiger. Okay, so he cancelled the Panzer IV and gets a Storm Tiger. I like this a lot more. He's going to waste the first shell on a Zis gun. Oh no. No. That is not how we Storm Tiger. As something of a Storm Tiger connoisseur myself, I like to think that I know a few things about Storm Tigering targets. I've Storm Tigered a lot of things in my day. This Panther getting hung out to dry a little bit here. I feel like this game is pretty much over, so I'm going to actually do something I rarely do and just speed up the cast a bit, because I just don't really see how our Axis player is going to overcome these odds. So we can watch on the tactical view here and see if anything happens. Okay, so the Storm Tiger presumably is now reloaded. There we go. Okay, so he's going to repair that Storm Tiger. Okay, we've got a fight here, so let's slow it down. I just feel like this game is kind of pretty much in. It's just I don't think there's anything our Axis player can do, so I'm just speeding it up a little bit here. Shock Troop's going to come forward here. The veteran Oversoldat and get hung out to dry. They are going to die. No fallback coming forth on those units. And there's just not enough Axis. There's just too many allies on the dance floor here. Okay, that's a nice Storm Tiger round there. I think. But the Storm Tiger... Oh, he killed 2 infantry with it. Maybe it wasn't that good. Loses the Panther. Yeah, this game is over, so we're just going to speed this one up. And crack the tack. We can even speed it up even more. And, whoa, did a B4 just chalk off the Storm Tiger? That's pretty brutal. Whoa, this is what hyper-fast motion, like, explosive death looks like. Oh, wow. And now he's just bled on out to insignificance here. So I'm just going to treat this game as over now. Switch to kind of autopsy casting mode now and kind of talk about this game. So I think the major turning points were... Okay, so the game was essentially at parity, right? Until... was it the T-70? No, it was the T-30... No. Hang on, I'm trying to remember. Okay, there we go. Game over. Medic is going to surrender this one. Absolutely fair enough. So, yeah, I feel like this game was at parity. Like, the two players were trading fairly evenly until the Panzer IV sacrificed itself for the T-34 over here, was it? No, the first Panzer IV sacrificed itself for a B4, coming in with the tank commander upgrade to throw down an artillery salvo. Basically, there were 2 Panzer IV trades. One was for a T-34, the other one was for a B4. If you're the Allied player, you're probably going to take those, all other things being equal, you're going to take those trades every day of the week. That is, the Soviet faction is, like, to some extent balanced around being able to make trades like this and come out ahead. That's why you even have an ability on your T-34s where you can ram them into your enemy vehicles. So yeah, trading out a T-34 and also trading out a B4 howitzer for a Panzer IV, great. Yeah, we take those. We take those. So yeah, and then once Medic was just slightly behind in terms of army size, on a map like this, it's so small, it's such a constricted map, it's basically impossible to... Well, it's not impossible, it's just very difficult because all of the units are constantly fighting. Like, the time between falling back, reinforcing, and getting back to the front line is so small. All of the units are exerting their force and exerting their pressure on the map at all times. So if you're behind in terms of army size, it can be so hard to come back. He tried to come back with some mines and things. I think that was, like, fine and admirable. If he was going to get an engine disable on a T-34 and pick it off with a Kettenwerfer and things like that. He even did get a couple of kills on T-34s. Like, the T-34 came in and rammed the Panzer II and died for it, and the Panzer II got away. And, you know, there were a couple of other things that kind of went okay for Medic, but it was never enough to get him back in this game. In terms of unit choices, I think that the second Panzer IV, not so great. I would have liked to see maybe a Yag-D, maybe, only because at the higher veterancy it gets extended line of sight, which lets you see and poke at the B4s. Or, as I was saying throughout this game, a Werferman might have been really sweet. Who knows? Might have been really good. This might have been a game for a Werferman. I don't like that unit. The Stuka-Zafus is not a unit I often build, but I just feel like this might have been an opportunity for it. Once your opponent gets to stack B4s, once the first one survives and they start building more than one, like, the weight of fire is just so atrocious for the Axis player. You do, as we saw in this game, you just get swept off the board. So a very nice game here from Farlon. Came in here with a plan, picked his commander early, executed well. Very nice to see. So yeah. This has been fun. I have no idea about casting further games or whatever, but if you see more videos pop up, then hooray! Yeah, thanks very much for watching, and this for now is Magpie842 signing out.